I am watching the country come apart in a way. It's 30 days. It's 30 days. I just said something. He said he's taken 17 days of vacation in his first 30 days as president.
Yeah, that's right. Is he golfing? He's probably golfing. Well, that's because Elon Musk is running.
Is the president.
Is the president.
As I said in the Armageddon update, it's President Elon, then it's President Putin, and then a lapdog felon. I don't understand where we are, and I don't understand what the point of all of it is. Why are we dismantling the government? I mean, I guess I get this because he says we're trying to save money. So the first thing he did was fire 15 IGs who basically
who are it's their job.
That's their job, right? Their job is to check for fraud in front of his. And they said they saved like $100 billion a year.
Yeah,
and he fired them first, so that doesn't make any sense.
And the Consumer
Protection Agency, insulin for your grandma and grandpa and everybody who's on insulin went from $35. The Republicans have introduced a bill to put it back up to $400.
Inflation is up. He acknowledged today that inflation is up, but blamed Biden.
I had nothing to do with it. He said, quote,
I had nothing to do with it. These people, they ran the country. They spent money like nobody has ever spent.
He ran $8 trillion in debt. He ran $8 trillion up in debt. The reason we have inflation is because he fucking ran up $8 trillion
January, his first time in office, is the biggest monthly increase in inflation since August of 2023.
Let's go back just to
day one.
Go over who really screwed up the COVID response that absolutely
killed everything.
Up everything.
Yep. We had all the supply chain. You get stores were empty. People forget that. This is what bothered me about the election. Stores were fucking empty.
You know what's interesting? I was looking up for the end of the pod. Stay tuned till the end. Is when I was looking at an article from 2021, something that what Biden did on this day, and a bunch of articles like refused to even print Trump's name because it's so easy we forget of like how traumatic and how fucking horrible his presidency was.
We were here it was crazy what we were doing. And okay, so we're past it now. Here's what I think. And I hope what's is happening. Okay, let's deal with the Armageddon update. Now, the craziest shit I've heard, and again, we always say, we've been saying this for 8 years now. What's he going to say next? He can't be any crazier than this. He said that Ukraine is responsible for the Ukraine war. Ukraine attacked Ukraine. What?
He just called Zelensky a dictator.
Zelensky.
The guy the comedian who wants democracy, who has been defending his country.
Please put me in NATO. Please. I'm a dictator. I want to be in NATO. And I started the war. And I started the war.
Oh.
And so if you guys look at the timeline that we just went through, and I want to be clear about this because the news, here's what I don't get, and you need to help me on this. How are we more insightful and have better research than the news? How is that possible?
I was going to say we don't have ads, but actually we do. But, Lumen doesn't tell us that we have to say certain things in order to get paid for Lumen. I don't know.
That was my initial reaction. It's about they're in it for the money,
and it's all become a
cognitive
dissonance tunnel. Everybody has their thing, and so if you watch just one thing, then that's all you see and believe. They're not seeing. Aunt Kathy is not seeing what we're seeing.
Yeah, you got a bunch of things colliding.
But here's the problem: you have to actively not see. We have connections to the internet to every piece of information in the world. So what I do is I go in when I write the Armageddon update, I have an idea for a joke or something or for a paragraph, and I go, let me see if that's true, because here's my idea. Here's what I think it is. I look it up. I back it up 5 different ways. Did you know that? So I'm driving to the work today. Very bad traffic day in LA, and that's saying something for LA. Today was really bad. Don't know why. And I hear the news guy go, well, we're not sure why he's capitulating to Putin. Why is he capitulating to Putin? We're quite not sure. Why is he saying Zelensky? And these guys are having this conversation on the news that is the dumbest conversation, because I'm sorry. Do you not know that Trump's first trip to Russia was in 1987? Did you not know that the KGB was doing this reach out to try to get the American KGB agents were trying to get assets in America? So they started 87. You guys see the timeline on the Armageddon update. 2006, 2007. Eric Trump said, in an interview in like 2008, a lot of our assets are, we're heavily into Russian assets. Most of our assets are financed. John Jr. said, we don't need any kind of other money because, a lot of our stuff is financed by the Russians. So you've got hundreds of millions of dollars given to the Trump organization to finance these golf courses and everything. Jared Kushner, do you guys forget this? Had a server that they had to shut down in Trump Tower that was directly connected to Moscow. What? And if you look at
Manafort was reporting polling numbers through a Russian-backed channel to the Kremlin.
Well, we put that on the point. Do you know the connection between Michael Flynn, even Jill Stein to Russia and connected to Trump? And how the fuck are you guys not I wonder why he's siding with Putin.
He's been capitulating. What about the Comey? What about the Russian interference? Russia. That it was like his whole fucking thing. And now it's like, why is all of a sudden Putin's involved?
Well, we watched Rachel Maddow last night. She did something interesting. She showed since he's got elected again, they keep asking him, are you going to talk to Putin? And he actually says his own point. He actually says this. He goes, who? Who?
What a fucking life piece of shit.
What are you for? Did you eat the chocolate? Chocolate? What's chocolate? So then they go. You talk to Putin. He says, "Oh, I don't think I should talk about that." How many times you talked to Putin? I can't say. I can't really talk about that right now. But he talked about Xi. He talked about President of Iran. Whoever he talked to, he has no problem saying it. Mm-hmm. Putin. So he's been a Russian asset, and this is just based on what I can see. Maybe he's not whatever. He had a Miss Universe pageant there, and so imagine this. So why would Trump be so afraid of Putin? What does Putin have on Trump? Now, here's the weird thing. The weirdest thing. People look at last week. They go if you can, pull it up on YouTube. See the video of Trump in the meeting with Elon Musk. Now, we know Trump doesn't like to give anybody the spotlight, right?
The Oval Office one?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He sits there like this while Elon Musk kid goes, "You're not the president. You need to shush your mouth."
Fucking puts a booger on his face.
And he didn't do it. He just sat there. He goes, smart kid. And Musk sits there and does his press conference. I'm like, what is going on? So we know that Elon Musk has been talking to Putin for the last 2 years, and he threatened to shut down Skylink to the Ukrainians.
We actually know that. That was reported.
This was reported.
Fact-checked.
That's fact-checked. So now
we know that he turned off Skylink in Ukraine
until we had to jump to Biden,
help Russia.
And then Biden jumped their ass and they turned it back on.
Yep.
Because they said they weren't paying enough. Then we needed $150 million to turn it back on. So you've got a bunch of people who got attacked. Well, sorry, again, I'm sorry, people. Ukraine attacked Ukraine. My bad.
You call him a dictator.
Without
elections. Now, what actually is happening is Zelensky was elected for a 5-year term.
Right.
And obviously the country is under martial law because
they're being
destroyed.
Yep.
And so the election was set for 2024, but they couldn't have it because Ukrainian parliamentary law forbids them to hold elections under martial law.
And it's really hard to focus on a voting sheet when you hear...
Yeah.
When it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the polling station?
It was here. It's in pieces.
But it's actually a Ukrainian law that prohibits parliamentary or presidential elections during a state of martial law. So that's actually law that predated Zelensky. So he's actually said he believes that elections will be held once martial law is lifted, like once Russia stops attacking them.